I'm Elle, and I break for squirrels.
And I am the Susman. Rick Susman. You, well, we know who you are. You are watching the Read Pile.
It is June 4th, and here's some comic book news.
Actually, there really wasn't any comic book news this week. I mean, Star Wars has another prequel, probably R2-D2's POV. I have no idea. We got bigger news. We got big news. The Read Pile took over NXT TakeOver. Many of you joined us for the live tweet event, and it was awesome. Miss Elle, you had not been to a wrestling event that I'm aware of. Prior to this, we got some splendid seats. So instead of you destroying all my favorite things like the X-Men movie and the Dawn of Justice and all that, tell me, what did you think of NXT TakeOver from your nerd girl point of view?
I actually had fun.
Whoa, did you like it?
I did.
Oh my lord. So wait a minute. I can't get you interested.
Well, I am a chick. I had some picky moments, but overall.
Do go on.
All right, Diva match.
That was the ladies' match for those of you playing at home.
Yes. Pretty horrific.
You didn't like it?
No.
I thought you enjoyed it.
I don't care about Ric Flair's daughter.
What did you just say?
She was terrible.
What?
She was terrible.
No. The first part of that sentence. What did you?
And then she won.
Did you just?
And then they hugged at the end.
But
I wanted to puke. I wanted to go up to the stage and puke on them, and then it would have been so much better.
But you said you liked the show. So what did you like?
No, overall, yes. It was great.
Will you go again?
Yes, I will.
So you heard it here, folks. First, folks, a little tongue-tied because this is incredible. Elle, not interested in the X-Men movies, couldn't care less about Batman vs. Superman. I don't know all the other stuff that she's already poo-pooed all over, but NXT wrestling, we have a winner. You ready to review some books?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
All right.
All right, time for some comic book reviews. All right. Once again, I did try Future's End. And once again, it was a disappointment. So, as far as the several storylines, this time around we had Mr. Terrific, we had Constantine, Firestorm, and also Grifter. And just like all the other times, it's brief updates, you don't really get anywhere with the storyline, and it's just ridiculous. I don't know why they can't just concentrate on narrowing it down, 2 at a time, and let's catch up. The fact that we haven't seen Terry since the very beginning is probably the most upsetting part of it for me in particular. And I'm sorry to say, you've lost the reader pretty much. I am done. It is off my list. Unfortunately, this is a weekly that was not ready to be a weekly. And I wish I would have gone with something else for my weekly. I didn't want to overwhelm myself and do too many weeklies, so I was like, hey, I'm going to do one. I'm going to do this one. I read the preview, it was awesome. Let's get on board with it. And now I'm completely disappointed and upset with myself for some reason. So if you haven't started reading it, don't even bother. Just find something else. Anything else. Alright, so move on. Happier times. So, if you read, I did do a online rebuttal towards Rick's review on Rat Queens. I fell in love with it. I read it when it was binded together for issues 1 through 5, and then told myself, okay, I have it as the binded one. I'm going to wait for the next binding of the next several stories, and just that's how my collection is going to be. I'm very particular how I do my collection. But then issue 6 came out. And I got it. Once again, it was fantastic. This issue picks up immediately after issue 5. Literally, next hangover morning after their shindig. And this issue, the girls are considered heroes. They are, I don't want to go into it, I don't want to ruin it, but they're considered heroes. Then Sawyer finds himself in a bind. We find out what happened to Bernadette. Pretty freaky. And then Dee has a little secret that we are just kind of have thrown at us. It's not a really big one, but it's very interesting, and it definitely catches you, and you need to know more. And the story is just as empowering with these women. They have their strong friendship, the raunchy humor, and it keeps you going. It's fun, it's lighthearted, and I just love every page. Not a single page lets you down, and they always leave you hanging at the end. So I'm gonna see. I'm gonna try to hold out. I'm gonna try to control myself. I told myself no. I want them in book form. I'm not gonna do single issues for this series. This is how I want to do it. But we'll see. We'll see when it comes around again. I think I have control. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's move on. So I got Black Canary and Zatanna, Bloodspell. I was pretty impressed. Funny thing though, I used to read a lot of Paul Dini back in the day, but I can't tell you anything I've read recently until now. I don't know why, because he's a fantastic writer. Fantastic. I have never disliked anything that I ever read from him. I haven't read everything of his, but nothing that I have read that I dislike. I was always in love with his writing. It is very light, it's got a great sense of humor, but still captures a serious storyline. And that's exactly what he did here. He went into how Black Canary and Zatanna have a history, their friendship, their hand in hand, and just how they kind of goes back and forth through the story, certain events where it shows how their friendship kind of grows. But then it goes back to the current story where they are fighting to break this blood spell together. And it was just wonderful writing. You were just on board with the journey all the way. And it reminded me a lot of the things that I missed back before the relaunch. One thing in particular, not everyone's gonna get this, but Black Canary, Green Arrow, their love interest, I missed that. And he did make sure to include that here in the book, and that just made me all giddy. So, yay. Another thing, I was really surprised about the artwork. I don't necessarily pay attention to the artwork unless it's a really big name. It's all over the place. Everybody knows Alex Ross, blah, 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 blah. But I'm one of those people, for some reason, the names don't remember. I do see familiar artwork, and then I'm like, oh yeah, they did that and they did this. But I don't remember the names as well. I'll be honest, I don't. But this person in particular, I'm going to make sure to look at this again. Joe Quinones, I am so sorry if I destroyed your name. But his artwork really worked well with Paul Dini's writing. It was perfect. As soon as I opened up the book, I was like, these characters, this artwork, it flows with his writing. I don't know why, but it actually made me very happy to read. And if you want to check out his artwork, he's did some sketches that are in the back of the graphic novel too. So there's a lot packed into this book. I highly recommend to pick this up. In fact, it is my pick of the week.
All right, Elle, thank you so much for those reviews this week. We really appreciate it. Every week. Okay, my read pile was not a huge read pile this week, but we still have reviews to make, and we shall review them. First, unfortunately, my shop got shorted Sometimes in the comic book world, when you've been collecting for a long time, your books show up like a week late, and it's no fault of the shop, it just happens. So I got Sex, number 13. It's 2. Number 13 this week instead of last week, so Sex 13, poof, should be up on the corner of my shoulder here. Thank you, Jesse. All right. So, if you're not reading Sex, Joe Casey is writing this really interesting take on superheroes that I personally love. I'd recommend checking out the first volume. It's called, I think it's called The Summer of Hard. It's a lot of sexual references, but not in a funny way like with Sex Criminals. Sex Criminals is like an adult humor kind of book, what was that movie? Zack and Miri make a porno movie, but a comic book with superpowers. Sex is more like a grown-up story. It's a story about heroes, about sort of a Batman-like character, if you're not familiar. I love it, but it's for adults, and I don't mean that because there's a lot of nudity and sexuality and violence. There is a lot of it. It is a grown-up's story. You're not going to get this unless you're, at least in your mid-20s, in my personal opinion, or you're very mature, which I'm actually not. So, anyway, let's move along. Almost my pick of the week this week, but not quite. Jimmy Palmiotti's Painkiller Jane, The 22 Brides, Part 1. This was actually really good. I love Jimmy Palmiotti's Painkiller Jane. I'm pretty sure I've reviewed one of her books either on our site before or either in the show. I just can't remember. I've been following Painkiller Jane for a long time. That should be up here by now. I love this character. I love that she's sort of a lesbian, sort of bisexual, depending on the week. I love that she has a great healing factor like Wolverine, but unlike Wolverine, she actually is in pain, so she doesn't like to use her healing factor unless it's necessary. I like that she doesn't instantly recover. I like how Palmiotti is writing her. And interestingly enough, between Elle and my read piles, Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor are all over the place. These people are not getting enough credit, even though they're getting a lot of credit. So check out anything with Palmiotti or Connor's name on it. You're probably going to like it, especially if you keep tuning into our show. So, the reason why it didn't get Pick of the Week this week is actually because of the price tag. It is $4.99 for a single issue. Now, you do get 2 full stories for that. That's pretty good value. It's $2.50 a comic when you think about it. But a lot of people don't want to shell out $4.99 for a single issue, and I get that. So that's why it's not technically my Pick of the Week. Pick of the Week this week is Moon Knight number 4, titled Sleep. And that should be up here too. And Buster apparently is really excited about Moon Knight number 4 as well. So good for Buster being in the program once again. But why is Moon Knight number 4 my pick of the week? Very easy. Warren Ellis is writing these amazing, trippy, heady, crazy stories. The art in... Oh, why am I looking down? The art in here is phenomenal. You have to read Moon Knight. I've said it on the last time I reviewed Moon Knight. I have no idea how long Warren Ellis is going to keep writing these stories. Each issue is like a one-shot, so if you haven't read issue 1, don't worry about it. You haven't read issue 2, who cares? Grab a Moon Knight while you can. If he does 50 of these comics, we should all be happy for all 50 of them. Because so far, 4 have come out, and they've all been aces. Definitely check out Moon Knight. That is my read pile for the week.
Alright, that's it for the read pile this week. Who are we thanking?
Well, first things first, we need to thank Galvin Leatherworks. Yep. They are going to be providing us with some excellent nerd leather swag. Mm-hmm. We are big fans of Mr. Galvin. He does a lot of awesome stuff. You can find him next at, I believe it's Florida SuperCon, which is over the July 4th weekend. Yep. You can find more information for him. Well, we should have a graphic somewhere. How do you want to bring the graphic in? I love making Jesse do all this.
I want to lift it. I feel strong today.
You want some help? You got this. You want to do a deadlift? You want to remember lift with your knees. Go ahead.
Okay.
Lift up the graphic.
No.
Oh man, my knee cracked.
Let me give you a hand with that graphic. There it is.
I hate you guys.
There, it should be around here. It is soft. You know what? It's soft.
I told you.
It's soft.
I told you.
Fine, it's soft this week. Oh.
So, thank you, Galvin Leatherworks, for promoting our show. Yes. And for more information on us and all of our friends, please make sure to check out nerdupmedia.com. Yep. You can check out awesome blogs, awesome podcasts. You can check in with The Reasons That I'm Broke. You can check in with the Lazy Gaming Guys. nerdupmedia.com. We forget anything else, Jesse?
No.
You want to go to the credits now, Jesse?
Yes.
I know you want to respond to Daniels. I just want you to be genial. Be nice to him. He is a fighter. He is a professional fighter. When he beats you, he's going to beat you.
It's not gonna beat me.
Okay, well, he's going to punch me in the stomach should you lose.
You're soft.
That's not really what's up for debate. He's going to hit me as hard as he can.
You look short.
He looks short.
Yeah.
That's supposed to... That helps me how?
Camera's ready, guys.
No. We gotta get back in the shot. Come on. Alright, Jesse, are we good?
Yeah. Looks about right.
Alright. So you know what you're gonna say? Okay, good.
3, 2. All right, Christopher Daniels. All right. Didn't say the date. International Bacon Day. If you knew anything about bacon, you would know it is the Saturday before Labor Day. Every year.
The internet has this information.
It's true. It's all over the place. But, well, you kind of were picking on me. You were saying that I didn't know how to cut a wrestling promo.
Well, hang on. Also, if you're interested, it'll be here in the Fortress of Nerditude. I want to get the Fortress of Nerditude. Hashtag Fortress of Nerditude.
Okay. Anyway. What?
Nothing?
Okay, whatever. So, you're telling me I gotta take my shirt off. I just want to point out, only old people do it that way. You gotta take it off. That's right. Alright, we're gonna see you. International Bacon Day. Get ready.
I'm so dead.
It's true.